You guys never gave me here. So I normally don't do these kind of videos, but I figure might as well talk about it because it's kind of a little bummed out of me today, to be honest. Especially hearing about this news. So I was looking through my phone and I noticed there was a headline that said Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, passed away today. So kind of want to do a little bit like a tribute video to him because to be honest with you, I loved Transformers and I loved his role of Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is my favorite Autobot in general, and I've always loved the character. Big fan of Transformers. One of the reasons I really got into Transformers was because of my dad. So that really is pretty much a big part of why I got in. So in a way, Transformers was kind of like a big part of my childhood in a sense. So that's kind of why, it's kind of hard for me to really process the words because of the fact that, the fact that we lost him in that. And I've always wanted to meet him at cons. For some reason, I could never meet him because every single time I go to certain cons, and sorry for the dogs barking, every single time I go to cons, he would just never show up. So it just be one of those things. But yeah, no. So I'm a little sad about the news, to be honest. I mean, 2026 has been nothing but, just crazy, just people just dropping like flies. Like we had Dolly Parton and Tim Curry and the one actress from Heroes, Hayden Panettiere. I think I might have butchered the last name, but that's kind of close to it. But no, we've lost a lot of people this year. So but the one that hits me the most, I would say, is probably Optimus Prime, because Optimus Prime was, he was a character that I really liked in Transformers. I really enjoyed him a lot. He was my favorite. And Peter Cullen, he was definitely someone that I would have loved to meet at cons and get a picture with and, get to know him and ask him questions in regards to what, how it is in Transformers. Because the guy's just a complete legend. Like, I know a lot of people don't exactly care a lot about voice actors and, because obviously voice actors just come and go and anybody can just pick up a mic and just make characters and whatever. But to be honest with you, like, the way I look at Peter Cullen is Peter Cullen was one of a kind, right? He was one of those, like, voice actors that, like, anytime he fit the role of Optimus Prime, he was the Optimus Prime. Like, he just brought so much to that character. And it's almost the same way as, like, how Kevin Conroy with Batman, where, like, every single time he put the role for Batman, it was his own take on it, and his take was pretty solid. And it's the same thing with Peter Cullen with Optimus Prime, right? Other people have tried to do Optimus Prime, but they can never match the way that he did Optimus Prime, right? And I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be someone that could either replace his role in the way he is, right? So I was really a little devastated about the news because, I mean, it's definitely close to, like, Transformers, the movie's 40th anniversary. So it's rather interesting that they just announced they're doing, like, the release of the 40th anniversary of that movie. And then now all of a sudden you hear Peter Cullen just died. So it's kind of funny. Not that it's funny, but it's just a rather funny coincidence that they released the movie, they're about to release the movie in a few weeks, and then all of a sudden he just passes. It's funny how life kind of works like that, I guess, but then again, life in general isn't guaranteed, and that's something I've really learned. Especially with last year, because last year was a really, really bad year for me. So I'm starting to really understand a lot about why life is really short and why we have to really, like, because that's the thing about, like, even Comic Cons. That's why I really like it so much, because when you're someone that admires creators and you admire artists and you admire the people that's involved, a lot of the kind of media that you love, you want to meet them as much as you can and get to know them, because you never know when it's their last day on Earth, right? And obviously I've learned that with Stan Lee, right? I almost met Stan Lee twice. and I would have loved to meet him because, I would have loved to meet what it was like to work on Marvel Comics and things like that. But, it's the same thing. And, there's so many legends that I would love to meet, and some of them that I wanted to meet, but I've never could because of, obviously, some of them have passed, or some of them retired, or some of them just never really went to cons, right? So, but no, it's just really sad. It's really sad to really hear the news, because I would have, honestly, I would have loved to meet Peter Cullen and everything. And I know he was 85, and usually once you hit your 80s, it's kind of like your days are numbered. Like, you kind of don't exactly know when your last day is going to be, especially when you hit that decade. So I do understand that certainty of it, but it's just really sad because I really love his role of Optimus Prime. There's not going to be anybody that's going to be like him that could fit the role. I think his charisma, his own, his voice in general is just so iconic. I don't think anybody can really replace how he is. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no. So I just wanted to do kind of a quick video tribute to him and that. So I know it's kind of a little bit unscripted. I'm really sorry, but I just wanted to kind of just give out my thoughts on it and kind of just give him a little bit of a tribute in that. So, so rest in peace, Peter Cullen. And like he always says in Transformers, Autobots, rollouts.